Well, the crime here in Indianapolis has started now, a brand new conversation and even debate about what we can all do about it. Channel 13 is very committed to digging deeper and bringing you the stories that really speak to the root causes of the problem and share how all of us can make our community even safer. So we decided to begin the discussion at the very top. Tonight, my interview with Metro Police Chief Rick Hite and Public Safety Director Troy Riggs. There's rarely a day that goes by when we don't report on this. Crimes that leave families changed forever. What do you say to the citizens of Indianapolis that our city is safe? Some of them are saying they feel very fearful about the city right now. How do you calm their fears?
We want people to understand we feel your pain.
The Indianapolis Police Department is about to unveil a new approach to crime fighting, taking it to a new level, to specific streets, to individual neighborhoods and homes. But before that can work, the two top men who oversee our public safety say they need more officers, mandatory minimum sentencing, and the help of the community.
We always say the public safety is everyone's responsibility. The only person that doesn't want you to tell the police what's going on is a criminal. And if you don't tell us, you may be the next victim.
We see daily reminders that crime prevention is still one of the city's greatest challenges. One of the most painfully memorable crime videos is this: a man who police say killed a gas station employee, then skipped away from the murder scene. After weeks of investigation, a tip led police to the suspect. But in too many cases, police say people are not speaking up and coming forward.
But for a lot of people, they say, you know what, I don't want to be a snitch. I don't want to say anything because I'm afraid that there will be revenge, retribution.
Tyranny exists when good people do nothing.
We know that 60% of all of our shooting victims that survive a shooting refuse to talk to the police now. We need people to get involved, stand up. If they see something, say something.
Police are still working to make an arrest in the shooting that rocked another part of our community.
Broad Ripple. No one would have ever thought that something like that would have happened a couple of weeks ago. 7 people shot.
What that means is shutting down areas is necessary, putting up cameras when necessary, changing traffic patterns when necessary, but also having a real frank discussion about rules and having certain rules posted in the businesses as to how we're going to engage as a community.
In so many cases where public safety is at risk, police say they are willing to do anything necessary. Just a few weeks ago, our community mourned as hundreds of officers honored Officer Perry Wren, who was killed responding to a call.
But I think people are starting to get a sense publicly of what the police department has been dealing with for the last 5-10 years on the streets. They're starting to see that reality when you have an officer that dies confronting an armed individual as he did.
You're called to do something greater than yourself. And every one of those men and women who take that oath are willing to do just that.
We've had 9 officers shot. A total of 30 has been fired upon. You would think that many people would retire and leave the profession. That's not the case. It says a lot about the dedication of IMPD. And in fact, I know that they're going to the chief saying, put me in those tough areas, put us in those target areas. We want to make sure that people live there are safe.
But whether the city has enough officers in those areas is a debate that has challenged the department and the city for years.
The chief and I have been very clear that we need additional police officers. We've hired 80 this year. We need an additional 100 to 200 officers.
Will they be assigned to desk duty or most of them be assigned to the streets?
Patrol is the backbone of law enforcement. Getting out of the car, getting into the neighborhoods, and getting chips in the bank when things matter.
Police putting criminals in jail and being able to ensure they will stay in jail has city leaders and police officers going to the State House to push for mandatory minimum sentencing.
We're asking for a 20-year minimum for anyone that uses a weapon in a violent crime in the city of Indianapolis or throughout Indiana. If we wanted to curtail and cut homicides immediately, that mandatory minimum sentencing of just 10 years means that we would not have had at least 20 homicides this year in 2014.
Any and all vital intelligence will now become part of the department's new criminal data program, the first in the nation, that will be unveiled this September.
To track those individuals who have propensity for violence. And we're looking at high, moderate, and low risk type individuals involved in those activities, and we're targeting neighborhoods.
That focus comes from information pulled from many sources into one central location where city leaders can react to changes in both crime trends and the social issues that trigger spikes in crime.
And the mayor will be able to walk into one room and see all the data from all the different government organizations within the city. We'll also look at state and federal data and some of the data from our nonprofits, and he will be able to make decisions about actions that need to be taken in real time.
The program is one of many proactive steps that's shoring up the safety plan of a police department.
But even with this new approach and driving some of these crime rates down, the social issues that lead to a higher crime rate still exist. And if we want to reduce crime long-term in Indianapolis, we have to deal with the social issues and not just focus on law enforcement. It has to be a total comprehensive package.
Hopeful for our community.
Prayerful for our community.
We have challenges, but I'm optimistic. We have a great chief, we have a great police department, and we have a great city. We'll get it right. We'll get it right.
Now, Chief Hyde and even Director Riggs both say that fixing the social problems like the lack of education, even poverty, can really help improve our crime problem here in Indianapolis. So they are relying on the community, the entire community, all of us to fill in those gaps. And that's the purpose of Channel 13's Blue Pledge, to help make our city safer. Just go to our website at WTHR.com to learn more about how you can help.
An 8-year-old boy's efforts to protect police officers is still getting support tonight. Jason Troxel went online last week to raise $10,000 for new bulletproof plates to make the vests worn by IMPD officers more protective. His father is an IMPD detective and a close friend to fallen officer Perry Wren. Well, as of tonight, we can tell you Jason has raised over $13,000. His original goal, again, was $10,000. So he's doing real well and making a difference. Doesn't matter.